You know what really grinds my gears?
Hello everybody, welcome back to the vlog. Hope you are having a great day. It is January 15th, 2026. I can't believe it's already 2 weeks into the freaking year. This vlog gonna be something different, something new I'm gonna do on my own. This is something I'm borrowing from a podcast I follow. I've been following since around COVID. Score North, a local podcast out of the Twin Cities. Every week since they've done this on the old radio show of theirs, 1500 ESPN, Mackey and Judd, they did a show called Write That Down. And basically what they would do is they'd have all the hosts on the show, and they would have listeners join in, and they make sports or show-related predictions. And since then, it's expanded from the original Score North, Mackey and Judd show, to Purple Daily, which is the Vikings entity of that show. And I was on the show as a guest listener in November of 2020. I actually have that in my saved files, but I'll post the link for that episode. You can watch that. It'll be on this one. I was on the original Mackey and Judd show November of 2020 when I just moved to Fargo. And I think that was the first week or the second week of November. I think it was the first week. And I made 3 predictions, and I almost hit on one of them. I predicted that Chase Elliott would win the Daytona 500 that was going to come up in 2021, and I was off by one position. He actually finished second, so I missed that one. And that was not my original third prediction. You get 3 predictions. That was an audible I called because the guy before me had done a WWE one, and I had a WWE one in my back pocket, and I audibled out to the NASCAR one. And I wish I hadn't, because my prediction was that Edge was going to win the Royal Rumble. And he did, and I missed out on that show. If you nail one that's, slim odds of hitting, you get a home. It was called the home run. Whereas on the football show, if you hit a big one, it's called a touchdown. But you're probably wondering, why are you talking about all this crap? Well, I decided I want to do my own version of Write That Down. I've been trying to get back on their show since that time. I've sent in requests and haven't got it, and I know their request list is long and all that. And they just announced that they're going to shut down the OG Write That Down. They're going to keep the Purple Daily one. They're going to add to their Twins show, and maybe the Flagrant Howls for the Timberwolves, and the Judd's Hockey Show for the Minnesota Wild. So I thought I kind of want to do my own version of Write That Down, just to make predictions, share with you guys, and maybe you guys, if you wanted to make your predictions, I could do the same thing with them. Keep track of all the results and all the predictions, and see how wrong or right I was, and quantify it. So that's what I'm going to do for this episode, and for future episodes, I'm probably going to do like 3 or 4. This episode, I have a whole bunch I had ready in case they called me back on the show. Some of them I have to get rid of because it's already happened by now. Like I did 8-item parlay about division winners for the NFL. That's already passed. And I wrote on here, I said for AFC, I wrote Baltimore, Houston, Buffalo, and LA, which I didn't hit any of those. And NFC, I said Minnesota, Tampa, Washington, and San Francisco. And I didn't hit any of those either, so I would have been 0 for 8 on that one. I think for stuff like that, if you're 0 for like a parlay and you're really way off, they should add that like a pick 6, or in the baseball concept, you hit into a triple play, which wouldn't be good, or 3 strikeouts. I don't know. So I'm gonna do my version of Write That Down, and I am going to. I'm borrowing it from the Score North guys. They're the inspiration for this. This is their concept. And I'm just doing my own just for fun because I want to do it. And I just need to add some content to the channel besides all the other stuff I got, and I need to get to work, and I just want to do some content and spicing things up again. So I got stuff written down on here. I'm gonna share with you guys, and I have some new ones I wanna put out there because we're in the current NFL coaches, circus, all the firings and whatnot. So I want to get some stuff done on that. So let's start with the stuff I got written down. So the first one I'm going to do, and yes, I'm going to borrow some of their sound effects, but like I said,
Write this down.
Score North, I love you guys. If one of you guys happens to see this, I'm not stealing your idea. I'm actually borrowing it, and it's because of you guys, and I love you guys, and I'd love to get back on the show. If you guys, Declan especially, would get a hold of me so I can get back on the show, that'd be great. Especially the Purple Day one. I'd like to be on the football version.
Write this down.
Let's start with the Vikings here. This one's not going to happen right away. This is not going to happen until next season or far off in the distance. But I think this is going to happen. So first prediction is that Justin Jefferson will eventually break the single game receiving yards record, which is 336 yards in one game, which was set by Flipper Anderson of the LA Rams way back in the 80s. So someday Justin Jefferson is going to go off. Of course, that means he needs a quarterback that's going to get him the ball that many times. I can see this happening in the next 2 years while he's still in his prime. And, I could see a guy like Joe Burrow throwing him the ball and getting it done. But, we'll see. So that's my first prediction. This one, and I'm going to make this an end date. I'm going to give this if I'm still doing this, by 2030. So I have 4 years for this to happen. And I know there's been a lot of talk of expansion. And a lot of people think the NFL should purchase the UFL and make it like a minor league system, or the NCAA is the minor league system, like baseball has the minors and all that, and the independent league and all that. But this one's for the NFL. So between now and 2030, there will be a credible report that the NFL and the UFL, the formerly known as the XFL, will merge, or will engage in talks to merge into a 40-team league. So right now the NFL's at 32. So if that were to happen, they would have to merge 8 teams from the UFL into the NFL, and of course then you have to move everybody all over the place and then decide who goes what. Obviously relocation or realignment, not relocation, will have to take place. Credible report between now and 2030, NFL and UFL will engage in talks to merge into a 40-team league. Write it down.
Write this down.
So, next prediction, number 3. Now we're going to get out of the NFL for a little bit. I'll close this episode with them NFL ones, some coaching ones, but we're not going to do that just yet. So, next one, write this down. Another expansion one, but this one for Major League Baseball. By the start of the 2030 season, Major League Baseball will expand to 32 teams. Off the record, I think it'll be, they're going to have to realign. They're going to have to realign everybody because they're going to have to add new divisions. They're going to have to do what the NFL's doing now, where the NFC has 4 divisions, AFC has 4 divisions. They're going to have to do the same in baseball. And I don't think it's going to be American League and National League at all. I think they're going to split it because both leagues have the same rules now. Pitchers don't hit anymore. They have designated hitter, universal. They're pretty much all the same, So, Brody Brazil had a podcast yesterday or the day before talking about expansions and all that, and he mentioned how his idea would be East and West, like the NBA does, and I kind of agree with that. I think that makes more sense for baseball than North and South. So I could see them doing that, having a Western Conference and an Eastern Conference, and then having, in my way, it would be 4 divisions. So probably North, South, West, and East, like the NFL does. So off record, I can see Portland, Salt Lake City's been trying a team, Nashville. I know Oakland would love to get their team back, but they have issues with the stadium. That's why the A's left, and the A's, funny enough, are having troubles with trademarks, getting the Las Vegas and Vegas A's and Athletics trademarked. They're getting declined and denied, and they also got Sacramento declined too. So something's going on there. I'm actually thinking about another prediction for that, so I'll do that shortly. Montreal, I've been banging on the table for many years to get Montreal back. I think they should get their team back. They need more teams in Canada. They got the one team, the Toronto Blue Jays. I think it would be great to have the Montreal Expos back. And if that means relocating a current team or giving them expansion, so be it. They are working on renovating their stadium in Montreal. Olympic Stadium. I think the roof is getting redone, so they are serious about getting a team back there. I know Orlando's been trying to get a team. They had a team called the Dreamers. They had a group working on that, and they were trying to buy the Rays, but the Rays got sold, and the new owner is in the process of looking to build a new stadium near Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. So the Rays doesn't sound like they're going anywhere. The only way they're going to be moving, it sounds like, is out of St. Pete and actually into Tampa. But I would love to see I'd love to see Montreal come back. Nashville has been trying to get a team there. I think they would be a good fit for a team out east. Charlotte's been wanting a team for years. They were a team. That was a city that was rumored to relocate the Twins back, before contraction talks were starting back in the early 2000s, late 90s, and then, of course, that all fell through because Minneapolis sued baseball, saying you can't break the lease because the Metrodome, they were signed to a contract. It all worked out. We got Target Field in this beautiful stadium. So, by 2030, MLB will expand to 32. I think that's definitely going to hit. I know baseball's trying for it, but their main concern right now is to get the stadium issues with the A's and the Rays done, and that, of course, is happening because the Athletics, they have land in Vegas. They're already working on getting it ready for the new team stadium there, and the Rays are working on theirs. So I think we're going to see expansion in baseball.
Write this down.
Next prediction. I believe this will be the year for the Timberwolves. I think they will finally make it to the NBA Finals. I had a team I originally wrote who I thought they would face, but I haven't been following basketball seriously, so I'm not going to say who they're going to face in the finals. But I will say whomever they face in the finals, they will win the championship this year in seven games. They will go the whole best of 7. The Timberwolves will win the NBA Finals. And it'll be the first Minnesota basketball team, men's team, since the Lakers were in Minnesota before they relocated to Los Angeles.
Write this down.
Got a WWE prediction here. Evolution, which is the women's only pay-per-view. It comes and goes every once in a while. I think because of the success of it the last few times, it's going to become an annual event. I know TKO Sports or Entertainment or whatever the hell they are that owns them now, the ones that bought it from Vince McMahon, they're trying to kind of get rid of all the stuff that Vince brought in because they're trying to scrub everything in regards to Vince McMahon because of all the bullshit and the shadiness he's done. But I think Evolution is going to be something they're going to push, especially for the women. They got a great roster, so I can see WWE Evolution will become an annual event. I kind of want to do another WWE, but I haven't really been paying attention that much, so I'm going to just kind of put that to the side and worry about that later. But I am going to write down a couple other things. Some NFL coaches. Let's do that. Let's see here. John Harbaugh, is rumors that he's nearing a deal with the Giants. He got fired by the Ravens. I'm not gonna make a prediction on that because it seems like it's close to being final. So I'm not gonna predict on him, but I will predict on a couple others. Mike Tomlin, I predict he's gonna take a year off. He's gonna go into TV for this season, and I think he'll be coaching again in 2027. And I'm not going to say which team. I'm just going to go on the record. Mike Tomlin will not coach in 2026. He's going to take the year off and do some media, and he's going to get back into coaching next year.
Write this down.
Kevin Stefanski, I think he's going to get hired, and I think he's going to get hired by either Las Vegas or Tennessee. I'm not going to say Baltimore because I think I have Baltimore or Pittsburgh because I think I have an idea of who's going to get hired there, and it's going to pain me to say this, but I'm going to go on the record. As much as I like to have Brian Flores back as our DC, I don't think it's going to happen. Even though he's got the lawsuit out on the league, I think there's going to be a team out there that's going to F it. We're going to hire him. And I think it's going to be the Baltimore Ravens. It's the perfect opportunity. He's a defensive-minded coach. And I could see him going. I could see him go to Baltimore or even Pittsburgh. I'm going to go with Baltimore. I think Brian Flores is done in Minnesota, and I think there's something going on behind the scenes. It's not the system, it's the person in charge, and I think he's clashing with people in the organization. But I don't think it's KOC. I think it's higher up. But I think he's also just tired of having a good defense, but they're having to bail out the shitty offense. So maybe they are button heads. But I'm going to go on the record. Brian Flores will be hired as the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. Write it down. I think that's it for now. I'm not going to do any more predictions. I'm going to save them for the next episode. So I'm going to write these all, get them in a database, and then the next one we'll see how we do. So I'm going to give myself. Let's do the Monday after the Super Bowl. So when the Super Bowl ends. On February 8th, I believe, is the Super Bowl. Let me check my calendar here. Yeah, Super Bowl is February 8th. So Monday, the February 9th, will be the next episode. We'll go over the results, and then I'll pick some more predictions. We'll do some off-season stuff. We'll do some Viking stuff, draft, whatever, Twins. Training camp's coming up soon for the Twins, so we'll see how I did. So if you like this episode, hit that like button, leave a comment. If you like, subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to help out with future projects or upgrades to the channel, please visit my Patreon, and the link will be on the end card. You can click on that, or you can drop something in the old Cash App. You don't have to help, but any help is always greatly appreciated. Until next time, peace out.